Hello there and welcome to this AI VFX animations tutorial. Now, in this particular tutorial, we're going to have some fun creating some incredible artistic VFX scenes, but these are going to be AI mostly. So, therefore, I want to make it clear that we're not using any VFX software, but the reason why I use the word VFX is to basically because it's a notion, it's visual effects. And it used to be that in order to create these, you'd be like an expert in some complicated software, or you need to go to school for this. There are degrees for VFX artists. But thankfully, now with AI, you can achieve some of the wildest scenes on a budget. And there is no better anime or no better application or case study to take than Attack on Titan. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Now, here I have some videos just to show you some examples. Let me just restart the video. Now, as you can see, this is one amazing scene that showcases what we call visual effects. Here is another example. This one only has the steps. And these scenes are highly appreciated for their high visual effects. And so therefore, let us go ahead and learn how to achieve this. Now, first off, we're going to have to be, a bit smart about this. So since we don't have the material, we're going to use material that already exists. And so what I would like to start with is an image I found on Google by using the keyword Attack on Titan VFX. And I will use this particular image in Google Gemini. So inside of Google Gemini, I could use the pro version of Gemini and click on create an image. But what I really want to do here is I want to be getting rid of something. Now, it seems like there is a problem here because I don't seem to be able to see that the Nano Banana tool is applied. Okay, that perfect now. All right. So I'm going to paste this image, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say remove the person and remove the text. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a scene. I'm trying to make my own scene. Okay. So instead of this guy's scene, I'm trying to remove this guy and I'm trying to just do something here. So I have a strategy that I'm going to go about. And if you follow along, then you're going to see how cool this strategy is. So as you can see, it's working on it. Now, it removed pretty much everything I don't want there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this particular image. Hear me out. And I'm going to go to Canva. All right. So inside of Canva, I want to be getting rid of certain things. One of them is that logo. And at the same time, also, I want to upscale the image. So I'm going to go for custom size. The size I would go for is 16 by 9 inches. And I'm going to place the image which I have just edited into Canva. All right, this very image. And I'll show you what kind of mysteries or what kind of mysterious scenes you can create off of that. There's a bunch of stuff you could do with that. Once you have a pretty nice image, you can do a lot with AI. So let's get into it. So right here, as you can see, this is the scene. It matches perfectly with the 16 by 9 frame. I just have to scale it a bit, but there is work to be done. So one major thing I focus on is the upscaling of an image. So I'm going to use the image upscaler, and it seems that I have to upscale this like 8 times to reach the most optimal quality. Once I've done so, now it's going to be easy, okay? Because then I will take my upscaled image and I will animate it. Now, the first tool that we're going to attempt is Grok because it's the cheapest. Plus, it allows one incredible feature. And, if you take it slowly but surely, you're going to know what I'm talking about. I want you to really focus in this tutorial because we're going to be exploring Colossal Titan City, okay, that we're going to create from our own imagination. And I'm going to show you how you can make like videos that take people deep into this city to explore the city with you. All right, so I've replaced that image with this new upscaled image. I just have to make it a little bigger to fit the screen. You can already tell that the quality has improved, and I'm gonna magically erase this. I like the smoke effect. And by the way, I have to give props to whoever created this video. I'm not sure what their name of their channel is or who created this image, but let me check their name. All right, so their name is specifically, or to be precise, Corridor Crew. You could give them a shout out because they kind of were very beneficial for this lecture. They already have 7 million views, and you can give them more, of course. All right, so this is a pretty good scene. I like it. Now let's turn this into something magical, okay? This is my theory. So I'm going to call this Colossal Titan City, and I'm going to share and click the download button. I would like to download this at a 1.5 upscaled, and that's that. Now I'm gonna create a bunch of other scenes because I have a lot of projects I'm working on regarding Attack on Titan, and I'd like to be creating a bunch of scenes for Attack on Titan for a live action that I'm making, and also for some videos that I'm making. There are size comparison video, like comparing Attack on Titan Titans to some buildings, and like the Eiffel Tower, like the Twin Centers. All right. So the tool I'm going to start with is Grok. And in terms of Grok, I'm going to go to the Imagine option here. And now that I have my image, I can just simply drag and drop it. Now, once you drag and drop a particular image in Grok, you can edit your prompt. So I will recommend that you do that. I highly recommend that you edit your prompt. So here, I'm going to say slow motion camera zooming in, exploring Titan City in 3D. And I'm gonna say exploring Colossal Titan City in 3D, no music, no voiceover. Okay. And now I'm gonna be clicking on the submit button. Now this prompt, depending on whether it works or not, first I'm gonna have to try it. If it works and if it gives me the results that I desire, then I could decide whether or not I want to extend this scene. But it's very important that you work and analyze as you go. Okay. In the meantime, for your project to work, you have to go to Canva. And since this is like a long form video, what I would do is I would click the create button and I'd go for like a YouTube video. YouTube video in Canva, there's landscape video. It's video, 16 by 9 or 1920 by 1080 pixels. And now here we got our video right here. So you can, that's phenomenal. But it's not super slow motion. Though what I do, I'd give it another try. Slow motion. Let me check it out again. Let me check that scene out again. I mean, it is slow motion to be fair, so I'm not sure if I can if I can just not if I can just stop this project, but I don't think so. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upscale this video, and then I'm just gonna copy this prompt, and I'd like to paste this prompt here so that I can have access to it later. Now, upscaling a video is pretty good because it helps make the video HD, and then I can download this at an HD quality. Now, the other video is still in process. I think it has been generated. Let me check it out. Let me check this out again. That one is actually even better because he kind of crushed the car that time. But I'm gonna stick to the first video. Okay. Now that you have your first video, what you would need to do, go back to Canva and drag this video into a blank, and then you can click on plus to add a blank blank again. Now we have our first video. This one is right. So this one is like going to be the first frame or the first part. And then we can keep on exploring the Titan City, as I called it. I want you to pause. Okay. Now, in order to generate like an extension of this scene, what I could do is I could go to the end of the first video and I could do this one trick of copying the video frame, going back to Imagine, pasting the video frame that was the end of the first video or the ending frame of the first video, and I can use that as a basis to animate like the second frame. And I can keep doing this, so on and so forth. All right, so this time we have another one. So now it's just gonna be like the second part of the first animation, right? So we're gonna pick up where we left off. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to animate these titans walking. Okay, and I would like to do it for like a 30-second or a 40-second clip if I can do that, because this can be highly valuable as a video for like if you're making a video about Attack on Titan. I mean, we've seen what these guys like this channel here, they've made like they have like 7 million subscribers doing this stuff. So it's very cool. These types of channels are very cool. Now you can see that there is like some kind of a glitch here, like one Titan kind of disappeared, and I don't like that. Colossal Titans. I'm gonna add the keyword Titans, and I'm gonna try again because there was like a Titan that disappeared all of a sudden, and that's just not professional. I could keep it, but that's just not professional. I think I can do a little better. In the meantime, while Grok is at it, I can go to Sora because Sora is also one of the other tools that can enable you to create amazing videos. And I'm talking about Sora too. If you don't have an invitation code, fine. I'll use Grok, okay? And I'm not saying this to belittle you or anything, but you have nothing to do. So use Grok. Okay, so here I'd like the orientation to be landscape. My video should be like a 15-second video. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that same image that I used earlier. It will be the basis of my image. And I'll use this prompt. Hopefully it works as well. And because Sora can generate like a 15-second clip, it might work out for us. I can also show you a way to pretty much remove the watermark, the Sora watermark, if you stick around for the rest of the video. If you don't, then I'm afraid I have nothing to do. Now here we have a second video. They're still walking. Now there are some disappearances, but to be honest, I think it's okay because those ones were not very visible. So this is like the second animation. And I'm gonna keep doing this as long as it gets like some pretty cool animations of these titans walking. Essentially, I want to get a clean footage, right, to have the full experience. So now let's download the second video. All right, now that I've downloaded the second video, I need to be going and doing the same job. But first, let me just disable that sound there because it's kind of annoying. And then here, moving to the second blank page in Canva, and I can place the next project or the next video. This is like a follow-up to the other one. All right, I think I just have to click right to apply it. Let me remove that blank that is between them. And there you go. It applies itself perfectly. And right now, if I were to watch this scene from the beginning to the end, you will be able to tell that it has like that effect that I wanted to achieve, which is like a consistent scene. Okay, so it looks like a consistent scene. It's just basically we extended the first one. Now let's keep on extending. I'm gonna pause this video right at the end frame. Right here. And then I could copy the video frame and again, do the same trick, go back to Grok, click on paste. I could go to the prompt, copy the prompt. I could paste the prompt, of course, waiting until I have this, thing. And then I can just click on submit and it will start working on it. Now, in the meantime, I just want to be checking whether Sora is processing my video because it sometimes rejects projects. Okay, so it seems like it rejected this one. All right, so it says that it's against our guardrails, third-party content. Okay, I'm gonna quit on Sora there. Now that's the problem with Sora is that for the most part, it rejects a bunch of things due to some policies and stuff. So to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind with it. Okay, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Are there other tools to do this? Absolutely, but they're very, very expensive, like Kling AI, Google VO3. Okay, Grok can do pretty much do the job, and for the most part, for the fraction of the cost, and it doesn't have anywhere near the policy violations that you'll have to suffer from with the other platforms. Now I can continue extending and extending and extending and extending until I make this into like a 10-minute video. And I see a market for this stuff. I definitely see a market for this stuff because where else can you get like an experience of experiencing a Titan city? It's almost as if you're there and you're watching these Titans as they walk. Okay. Now let's be adding the other one, the other video. I'm gonna add another blank. And then in that blank, I'm gonna have to add the third scene. I'm gonna do another extension, and I think that like a 30-second clip is more than enough to display AI's great creative abilities. And that also should give you a tremendous idea that you can take some other video, other images, and you can use them to craft pretty good creations. Now, again, moving to the last frame of this video, I'll have to pick exactly the last frame. And I'll take this last frame, copy the video frame, go back to Imagine, paste, and then again, the same exact prompt as before to maintain consistency in style and in everything. And then I'll just paste it and I'll hit submit. In the meantime, I can go to here and I can just say Colossal Titans 3D walking in the city or in whatever American city that is. But here is just walking in the city. I could just give it like a title, AI VFX. And quite frankly, if you want to post this as like a 30-second video, you can. But if I was you, I would definitely like do a longer video. Now in this one, Colossal Titans walking in the city. Now in this one, it didn't generate the walk because I believe that the ending frame was not proper. Now, sometimes the ending frame will kind of alter and it will kind of disable us to kind of continue the process because I see that the camera kind of zoomed in a lot on the Titan joint. So obviously here, Grok was kind of thinking that we're trying to animate like the biology or the anatomy of a colossal Titan, but that's really not what we're trying to do, really. All right, this is a good one, but the way he's walking looks like he kind of fainted. All right, looks like he kind of couldn't complete the walk. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I'm gonna have to generate another one. But then again, as I said, I'm gonna stop at like 4 scenes, and believe me, it will be a beautiful overall scene. There are other scenes I have in mind, like this one here of this Titan. Like I want to create like a VFX real life when he attacked like the city or when he attacked the wall, you know. And also this is really very educational for you because at the same time you're in real time you're having an experience. Now this one is good. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually good, even though there are those like bones coming out there. But again, it is what it is. Can't strive to make this perfect. And so that's that. Now this is my last scene. I'm gonna download it, and then I think I should close Grok. Now let me just go back to Canva, drag this one right here, and again, the same kind of process. I just want to be getting to put this here, remove that that is link between them, and I want to download this. Now this is like a 24 seconds. I thought it would be like more, but it's 24. It's okay, and I'm going to download this at 4K HD. I mean, you can imagine that if even if you post this like as a short, it will still get a lot of views because it's so cool. Now, while that is being downloaded, I'm gonna go back to here, and I'm gonna show you in a moment some of the amazing things you can do with this tool. So here, this is an anime scene back when like the Titan, the colossal Titan attacked the city. So if we want to bring that scene to life, we can. But this is an anime scene, so how can we make it realistic? Well, I have just a way to do that. And one way is to be going to like the same chat in Grok in Gemini, and then you could paste that image and you could just request transform the attached Attack on Titan anime scene into the real Hollywood version image. While in the meantime, I think that my project is still in process. It's still downloading. So just give it some time. It's 24 seconds, but it's very high resolution, and also the scenes are very interesting. They have a lot of detail, so I think it's gonna be like a 100,000 kilobytes. Yeah, yeah, it's 109 megabytes. So it's 100,000 kilobytes. It's not a small video by any means. Okay, so let's just click. All right, before I keep exploring, I'd like to pause this because I need the controls. Where are the controls on the VLC here? It's kind of weird. Weird VLC stuff. All right, so if I go full screen, now this is our scene that we've just created. Let's just have a preview. All right, that's pretty good. So from one image, we ended up creating like a scene. Now, if we go back to Gemini, as you can see, it has generated the realistic counterpart scene to this anime scene. Okay. Now, how could you go about animating this if you wanted to animate it? Now, for the animation, I'm going to try a bunch of tools, not a bunch of tools. I'm only going to try two tools. One is Grok, the second is Leonardo AI's Kling AI, because I can access Kling inside of Leonardo. I don't have to like have a membership in klingai.com because I don't like their interface. Leonardo is quite comprehensive, and it also allows me access to multiple other models like VO3 and so on and so forth if I ever wished to get access to them. So I shall not be going to Kling. But if you want to use Kling from inside Kling.com, it's up to you. Now again, this is a beautiful image. I'm not sure about the sizes. This is 16 by 9. It looks like a 16 by 9. Okay, so here we go. Now again, Canva is going to come in to kind of refine the video. So I'm going to go to canva.com, and then right here, I'm going to click on custom size, 16 by 9 inches. And I would like to just transform that scene basically into a better quality one using the image upscaler in Canva. Now, it's integrated with Canva Pro. If you don't have Canva Pro, that's not my problem. You can just use the image without upscaling it, though that will result in a lower quality video. But again, as I said, that's not my issue. Now over here, I'm going to click on edit, and here there's the image upscaler. By the way, if you want to use image upscalers, there is no free image upscaler out there. All right. Even, if you search like an image upscaler on Google, they will probably give you like a, 2 or 3 free credits or free trials. But then again, you'll have to pay a very huge price. And that's why, to be honest, I don't like image upscalers. And for me, like a $3 or $4 a month that I pay in canva.com comes with a free image upscaler, right? And it's much better than, using these platforms that will suck your money dry, $19 per year. Like we have, it's too much. And, mostly you'll need like a business plan in order to upscale a lot of images. But to be honest, that's, like 1/3 of what you pay in canva.com. So why not pay for a Canva software that comes with all that stuff, plus the free image upscaler, background removals, auto adjustments. There's, Canva has like a million features or a billion features. I don't know. I mean, I'm a Canva expert. Okay, so I've designed more than 40,000 designs in my career. Of course, Canva they gave me that certificate that you get when you reach 40,000 plus designs, and you know that because when you create those types of designs, Canva can keep track of how many designs you've created and shipped. But I'm still I could tell I'm not confident. I'm not fully confident in my Canva skills because there's like millions of tools and apps and a lot of stuff out there. All right. So here, this image is beautiful. I like it. Now, if you want to like edit the quality, like the colors, I mean, I could like use an auto adjust, but that kind of makes it a little bit better. And here I'm just gonna call this like Colossal Titan attacks the city. Okay, now let's just try to animate this scene in the best of our capabilities. Okay, so I'm gonna be going over here and then like downloading. Now there are other types of content that we can create, like size comparisons. Like you can compare both, like the Colossal Titan with Kong or Godzilla. You can make it into a short. I'm gonna try to make some time for that, but first let me just download this picture because it's gonna be essential. Now, when it comes to the animations, I'm going to be using Kling '01. But to be honest, I could use like Kling 2.6 because it offers a sound option, and a 16:9 project. I could go for like 10 seconds, but this wouldn't take 10 seconds. Okay, it would be just like a 5-second clip. Now, first off, I'm gonna have to click the image selector, and here I'm gonna paste the image of the Colossal Titan. And since this is a destructive scene, I just want to show him like kind of destroying the wall. Now, it only is going to take like 5 seconds, and I'm using Kling 2.6 because it can generate sound scenes with audio. So I'm going to say Colossal Titan destroys the wall with his gigantic fist. And I'm just going to submit. In the meantime, I'm going to use the same exact prompt in Grok and the same exact image to compare the both of them. So if I drag the image in Grok, it will essentially start working on it without a prompt because I'm on auto generate. But since I want to control my scene and I want to be generating exactly what I want to generate, I'm going to have to paste like a prompt to describe this. So it's simple. Colossal Titan destroys the wall with his gigantic fist. You'll also notice how fast Grok is compared to Kling 2.6 or Kling AI in general. Grok is like ultra fast. Okay. The only downside to Grok is, of course, the sound effects are not super great, but it is by far top three, in my opinion, in terms of video generators. I would always put it top three or at least top four. So as you can see, it already went and generated the scene for us. Now, the only issue is that here, I don't like the fact that they're kind of garden. So I'm gonna going with this one because the wall is huge. All right. Now I want to check. Now it has some music. Now that I'm gonna say the skyscraper wall, tall wall. I'm gonna say no music, just no music and incredible sound effects. All right, so let me give it another try. I think that Kling should have finished generating the scene. I always like to download my scenes first to watch them. And don't tell me that this is not a befitting live action trailer scene. Let me pause. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's pretty good. You can see that that is amazing. All right, I like it, but let me just wait on Grok's second shot. Well, I like Grok better, to be honest. I think it did a much better job, don't you think? Now, because it's kind of like a short video, I'm gonna upscale it and download it so that we can watch it in full screen to completely assess like the difference. Now, here is the Kling scene, and the Grok scene, I believe, has one. And it's surprising because it's always surprising to me, even though I'm always using Grok, but it's always surprising to see how incredibly cheap Grok is and how crazy the scenes that it generates are. Now, if you want, like I said, if you want to like continue generate the second frame to this, you only have to like go at the end of the first video like this, and then you copy the last frame, and then you go and animate it to like complete the generate like another scene, like complete the other part. All right, so here's the Grok version. I'm gonna repeat it. 1, 2, 3. It's just amazing. Okay, it's just absolutely amazing. Now let me just close Grok for a second, and I'm going to be going and shopping for some scenes here. Okay, so here, this one is beautiful, all right, because it kind of shows like, a Titan. He's standing there, and there's a guy that, is kind of standing there. I have a weird idea in my brain. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to try to execute this weird idea in a moment. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to copy this particular image right here. And here's the thing. I'm going to go to Google Gemini, and here on the same chat, I'm going to say remove all text. And also, I'm going to have the Titan open his mouth. And the animation I want to create is the guy deliberately jumping into the Titan's mouth so that we can create like a VFX animation showcasing how big the colossal Titan's mouth is. Okay. And we know that the colossal titan is huge. Okay, so definitely he could fit, like a lot of people in there. It would be like a room inside of his mouth. But these videos are highly appreciated. Okay, so I'm gonna be want to keep it serious. Okay, so no, actually, no. This is not what I wanted. But notice here, notice this thing. It kind of generated like a completely different scene. I don't hate it, but this is not what I wanted to achieve. Like I'm gonna go to a new chat instead because it kind of was altered. The history was altered due to some images I provided earlier. So it can get confusing for Gemini. So I'm gonna start a new chat. I'm gonna say remove all text. Now, because this is a complete new chat, there is no previous history, so it's only going to focus on the image that I provided it with, and it's going to try to do what I want. All right. By the way, that's a pretty impressive thumbnail. I can also show you that Google VO3 can be quite impressive as well. But first, before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, please make sure that the Titan's mouth is wide open. I'm going to try Google VO3 for this one. And for that, I'm going to have to open a new Gemini. But let's wait for the image first. I still need to upscale the image. I'm going to remove this one, Colossal Titan and human size comparison. Like these all are projects that I've been wanting to create for the longest time. Kind of like an Attack on Titan documentary. All right, here we go. His mouth is open. This is good. So I'm going to copy this and go to Gemini and paste it. And then I'm just going to have to make it bigger. You can see I'll have to sacrifice a little bit of that surface, but it's completely okay. And then I'm going to go and click on the image upscaler option because I need to be upscaling this image. It's still low quality. So I'm going to upscale and hopefully it does a pretty fantastic job. So the idea is to turn this into like a pretty cool size comparison scene of a guy, kind of like having fun, showing people how big the colossal titan's mouth is. Okay. Now, there are multiple ways to use Google VO3. We've attacked that in multiple of our lectures, but one of the easiest ways to use VO3 is through Google Gemini. You can click on create a video, and you can use VO3 to generate like a video. But first, now you can generate a video based on the pure description if you want, but those are not great. Okay, so those are rarely ever great. I kind of, quite frankly, don't like those types of scenes, but I like to use like an image and then transform that image into a video. I think that's the best way to create a video. All right, so this scene has been replaced by a better scene. So I'm just gonna have to upscale again or reshape again. And I want to keep some details, and I also would like to auto adjust the image. All right, it looks better now. Now let me just go ahead and download this image. I can download it at 1.5. I want it to be super high quality, low pixelization. And then I think that right now I could do that crazy animation that I want to do. Okay, now if you kind of run into these kind of issues from time to time with Canva, then know that you just have to like refresh the page, and that should solve like the problem. Mainly, it's like a technical browser glitch. So you have to like refresh that you can be able to download your project. Otherwise, you're just going to be staying there for an hour and you're just going to be waiting, and you won't really know what's the cause, why you can't download your images. So it's always good to refresh or clear the cache, which is going to log you out of Canva. But if you log back again, that will solve the problem. So here I'm going to drag this image, and I'm activating the video tool in Google Gemini. Mind you, I'm using the Pro subscription, but you can use a free subscription. You can be able to generate 3 videos a day for free using Google VO3 inside of Google Gemini. And 3 videos a day, that's 90 videos a month. So it's actually super generous, because you have to realize that with Google Gemini, it costs like $3 per video. So if they give you $9 for free every day, that's like they're giving you like $200 for free every month. So, you really got to use that gift. So here, as you can see, this is the scene. So what I'm going to say, funny VFX vlog of a guy jumping inside the huge Titan's mouth to show how big the Titan's mouth is to his fans. Okay, so I'm going to click on submit, and hopefully it does a pretty good job. It will take some time, right? I could also try to do this using Grok. Now let's try to do this using Grok as well, because Grok is cheap. All right, so let's go to grok.com. It's cheap, but it doesn't mean it's bad. That's what I also want to get in your mind. It's cheap doesn't mean it's bad. It means it's good, because it cares about your pockets. All right, so here we go. Now I'm going to take that scene right here, or that image, and I should like to just drag and drop it. It immediately triggers Grok to start generating a video. But as I said, I want to be using my own prompt. So I'm going to place that prompt, but I'm going to make sure to say no music, incredible sound effects. And I can be just letting it work on it. Now here, I said sound effects, which is wrong. I should be saying sound effects. Now, usually it takes like about 1 minute to 2 minutes, as they say here, for Gemini to generate a video. It's not that long, okay? So by the way, they generate 8 seconds. Usually their videos are 8 seconds. I would have hoped that Sora hadn't really tightened their grip on the policies, because it used to be incredible. And we could have created a magnificent scene with this in Sora 2, but now it became almost impossible to create almost anything with Sora 2.
All right, guys.
All right, so here we go. This is the vlog kind of scene. All right, let's just get into it. 1, 2, 3.
All right, guys, I'm gonna jump in to show you how massive this thing is. Here goes nothing. Wow. Okay,
Well,
I'm inside.
That's not good. It's not good at all, but whatever. You could probably use that. Okay, so let's check the Grok version of it. Well, actually, Grok.
Whoa, fans, check out this Titan's mouth.
It did it a little bit better than VO3.
Whoa, fans, check out this Titan's mouth. It's massive. I'm jumping in. Here we go. Wow, it's huge in here. Whoa, fans, check out this Titan's mouth. It's massive.
It's actually not bad. Now here, instead of jumping inside the Titan's mouth, I'm going to say commenting on the huge Titan's mouth, right? And I could just hit another generate. So instead of him jumping on the Titan's mouth, I could just make it seem like there's a guy standing next to the Titan and actually talking, saying to his fans, look how big this Titan is. And, essentially, we don't care about what the guy says here. What we want to demonstrate is how big the Titan is. Okay, it's like a size comparison. And that's what VFX is for, okay, if you know what I mean. Or should I call it AI VFX? So here, let's check this one out. Hopefully it's a good piece, because I'm going to have to.
Whoa, check out this Titan's mouth. It's huge. I can fit inside. This is insane, right? Whoa, check out this Titan's mouth. It's huge. I can fit inside. This is insane, right?
Only this guy stops talking. It's quite annoying. Okay, so now let's go back to here. Again, there's a bunch of other things that we could do. Like, for example, one of the fan favorites is, of course, Eren Yeager, or otherwise known as the Attack Titan. So here, it seems like I kind of found a pretty good scene to animate, but here we have like it's a fight between the colossal titans, like two colossal titans. Okay, so Eren versus what's his name? Armin, colossal titans. Now there was a moment in the anime where both of them were like attacked, were like colossal titans, and they've collided. Okay, they've collided. I wish to find like a scene, but then again, these are not clear. I don't really know if they're gonna make for a good scene, to be honest. There's not much detail there. What I could do probably is like make an animation of a man like fighting the titans. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do this one instead because it's hyper difficult to kind of make the other one. So I'm gonna go to Google Gemini right here, and then I'm gonna start a new chat, create an image. I'm gonna paste this one. I'm of course gonna use the pro version, and I'm gonna say generate or turn the attached image into a realistic version. And of course, it's I think a colossal titan versus somebody who's basically just he doesn't know that the colossal titan is pretty much invincible. But here, let's check this out. I could also like try to make like that scene between what's his name, Zeke versus Levi. There's Zeke versus Levi. This is one of the best scenes, but I don't really know which one to use as like my first scene. I'm gonna say Levi versus Beast Titan. There's pretty much a lot of guys that have already created like a bunch of incredible scenes like this. But the issue is I don't really have much to work with, okay? That's the problem. I don't have much to work with. So the images that I have are already like in motion, so it's so difficult to use these. Now, I think I'm gonna go back and focus on like my other ones. So here, this one is actually pretty impressive. I like it. So what I'm gonna do, replace this one and use this one instead, and then right here, I'm going to go and edit this image. I think that if I upscale it, then might kind of like alter the quality. But let's try. Let's give this a shot. I think if I can do one scene, I could definitely do like that scene of the Beast Titan, like Beast Titan throwing horses. You know, that's a crazy scene as well. Like he took horses and he's just throwing them. You know, he uses them like as his weapon. But I gotta find like the cool scene. This one is good, but it's a GIF. It's this is one of the iconic moments of the series. I think I can do this scene. Okay, I think I can do it. I have I have a great degree of confidence about this, so I think I can do this. But let's go back to Canva here. It should definitely just replace my image here with the upscaled version. All right, so it's replaced. I think there's that logo here, which I need to remove. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to select and make it bigger. So this is the upscaled version. Actually, I think it looks a lot better. It looks like a game rather than a real life, but I think it's quite fine, you know? All right, so as you can see, kind of using the magic eraser there to erase that. And then here, I'm just gonna say Colossal Titan versus Human, okay? Now, I like the angle of this, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on the download button. Again, it seems like I'm gonna have to refresh. And then we'll do one more of like the Beast Titan. All right, so here, if I click on download, this is pretty good. I could download it like that. But here, incredible VFX images. I like to kind of find like some incredible VFX images out there. Like probably this one. This one is very, very cool. We have a dragon. Now there's a lot we can practice on. We started with Attack on Titans. I think we can move to something else. But here we go have a scene. All right. So this is a pretty cool scene. Now let's work on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Colossal Titan scene. Let me just drag and drop it right over here. After this, I think I could just make a crazy animation, like incredible animation of flying warrior slashes the Colossal Titan's neck with his sword. Amazing, epic scene. No music, no voiceover. Incredible sound effects. I'm also curious to see what kind of Grok's own version of it is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be horrible. So I'm not even going to give that a chance. All right, so I'm not going to give that a chance. I'm just going to use my own prompts. Now here, assuming that, for example, you want to create like some similar scenes to this, or you want to be like just trying to animate some stuff like that. This is a pretty cool scene. Let me go to Gemini, start a new chat, create an image, and I'm going to say, listen, I want to create a similar scene to the attached, but it should be about a kraken instead of whatever fish this is. I think that this is a scene from Life of Pi, probably that moment when he gazed into the tiger's eye, or when they both kind of gazed into the water and they went really deep, kind of imagining all kinds of hallucinations. And one of the things that he imagined is that fish deep in the sea. I mean, this fish actually exists, but it's much smaller than this. Now, what I'm going to say is the kraken doesn't have a light bulb. Okay, so that's kind of one of the things about Gemini is that it will sometimes not really be very creative. So it gave us a kraken with like a light bulb. But then again, wouldn't it be interesting for a kraken to have like a light bulb? Because this picture is kind of dark. So I think, I'm probably going to be taking this. It's not bad at all. Now let's go back to Grok here. This is not a very good scene. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it another shot, but I'm going to let Grok do the magic. I'm just going to attach the image and I'm going to let it do the magic. Okay, I'm going to let it generate it. In the meantime, I can go to here and I can take this interesting image of the colossal predator. And, these are really good for like documentaries, like soothing animal documentaries that you can make. Believe me, there's a huge market for that. There's even a guy right now who's making like a Pokemon documentaries AI channel. Let me just find this. I think forgot the name, but I didn't forget I didn't forget the idea. So Pokemon.
Outside is dangerous out there.
No, not this one. Pokemon documentary. Okay. His episodes are kind of really going viral. Like viral, super viral. This is not his original channel. This guy is called Pokemon Geographic Planet. Already has like 16 videos and 22,000 views, 22,000 subscribers. But this is not the guy that I actually wanted to show you. I think there's a more successful dude out there doing this. Let's look at some of the amazing stuff that he's making. Now this one is also another one. Yeah, I think it's not bad, but the guy that I wanted is actually different. 12,000. This is a winning niche, actually. A winning niche. I mean, with 21 videos, already are 21 already are at 12,000 views, okay? So maybe I could show you how to make like some scenes like that. Okay, it seems like I've probably saturated my my Grok library of images. I think I'm gonna have to start deleting some images. Okay, so storage limit exceeded. To solve this, just click on manage. And then of course, after you click the manage option, I can just filter or sort these out by name. And I could just go and start deleting some scenes here. I just need to be deleting a lot of images that I have uploaded in the past to kind of just clear Grok's memory a bit so that I can upload new images to it. All right, but I'm not gonna overdo this. I think I did enough. So right now I'm just gonna refresh the Grok page, and that kind of solves the issue. If you ever ran into this annoying issue in the first place, then now you know the solution to that. In the meantime, I think I should be going back here and replacing that old-fashioned scene with my new one. And as you can see, it solved the problem. So now you can upload images all the same. Now, this one, of course, here, I don't really have a care in the world for a Kraken, but what we're trying to do here is we're trying to stretch your imagination to show you what cool VFX scenes that you can create with AI instead of relying on skills that might take you years to learn. Now, with prompt engineering, anything is possible: music, video creation, artistic creation, mangas, animes, and I'm proof of concept because I actually even animated like some One Piece scenes that will probably take 3 or 4 years by Crunchyroll or some other companies to animate. So here I'm gonna say colossal Kraken. And by the way, I'm not braggadocious about it. If you have anything to say about it, you can say it, but I'm just saying the truth. I think that AI can do a pretty good job, as good as the animators themselves. All right, we have a scene here, but that's not really what I wanted. Okay, this is a difficult scene to animate, but you know, we could you could workshop like a prompt, but now we have to move on to like some other concepts. Okay, so there's a bunch of other stuff that we can create. All right, so as far as the colossal kraken is concerned, I'm just going to be uploading the scene, and I'm going to be letting Grok do its thing. Okay. Now, how can we move to something else? Like dragons are mystical dragons. They're actually the stuff of dreams, and the stuff of your of a lot of people's liking. Okay. Now you can see this is a scene of the dragon kind of doing that, but there is a pretty incredible dragon VFX TikTok style video that has been going viral for the most part, and usually it shows like a big dragon on a cliff, and usually it shows like someone doing like some relaxation, and behind them there's a dragon. Okay, I think I'm only going to be able to find this on YouTube. Dragon VFX. I'm just gonna have to find. There it is. This one. This one is what I'm talking about. So here it says, "Can I beat a VFX artist?" Okay, so this guy is also pretty a genius when it comes to these scenes. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy one of his, and I hope that with this that I can find some images. So this is essentially this is the thing he's trying to achieve. Like he's trying to create like an image of himself walking close to a dragon. Okay, but I gotta find like the proper scene. Okay, I think I have an idea. Okay, so that alpha dragon, How to Train Your Dragon. There's a scene where she kind of gets close to him, close to his face. I think that's how he got the inspiration. Introduction. Back when Hiccup's mother introduced the dragon, she was kind of standing and coming close to him. Okay, so yeah, it's actually this one. All right, I think it's enough of an inspiration. So I'm gonna go back to Gemini right here. But first, let's check on this scene here. Isn't it amazing? It's absolutely amazing. If you don't want no music, you can just say no music, just or no music and add incredible sound effects. Now, usually the Kraken has a roar. Um, but if you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't want, it's up to you. So right here, I'm going to go back to Canva, not Canva, to Gemini, and I'm going to be pasting that image. And what I'm going to say, I'm going to say generate a realistic 9 by 16, or actually not 9 by 16. I'm going to go with 2 by 3 image of a man standing at the edge of a cliff, looking at a fuming, incredibly aggressive, huge dragon. That one attached is inspired by, of course, Attack on Titan. You can create your own, and this guy is actually showing like some TikTokers that have been doing this, and they've been garnering quite a bunch of views. I just don't know the keywords that he used to find those videos, because I remember watching his videos like quite some time ago, and I remember saying at that time that I can do your job. It's not an insult to this guy. I mean, he could do it. I hope that he has a great career. But I was thinking that AI can do this, okay? And if AI can do this, then you know that it's really it's really we're really we're not really gonna do great. Now you can see this scene is great, but this is not what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm gonna say that's not the angle. It must be like he's standing on the cliff. The dragon face is huge, and the dragon is looking at him menacingly. And I could again, because it seems like that angle was not enough. So I'm gonna probably like take this one, and I'm probably gonna give it another inspiration. Again, another inspiration for the perfect angle is attached. But then again, I did say that the dragon must be fuming, must be angry. I mean, those are all things that might signify that the dragon is kind of like on the way to attack. But just notice how incredible, how great you can make, how amazing you can, how you can make amazing scenes with this. Okie dokie. I'm just gonna wait. So if you're in TikTok, this is also a pretty good niche. It's a niche that you can operate in. Like, I mean, that guy just made a commentary about it, or a video inspired by those TikTok videos, and he earned like 2 plus or 3 million views from that video. All right, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the fact that it didn't learn. So here's the thing. I'm going to be condensing both prompts into one, and I'm going to be starting a new chat on Pro, Tools, create images, paste the image, and right now I'm going to be giving this image as an inspiration. And this time I'm actually not going to limit it as to the size. I'm going to let it roam free. I'm going to let it select whichever size it thinks is necessary to achieve this, because what I'm trying to do here, the bottom line is I'm trying to give people the experience of like being close to a dragon, like, okay. And it seems like people are really into this stuff. For example, on TikTok, that content is consumed quite a lot. Now over here, this is Hiccup, but kind of I don't like it. I'm gonna say, look, I want you to create a different type of dragon and a realistic, real man standing on the edge of the cliff. The man has simple jeans and a white shirt. The reason why the white shirt is because I want to make sure that the man is visible. Because if we make if the black shirts, they can make you fade. But if it's white, if it's a white shirt, I think it would be quite easier to spot. At least that's my opinion. Now this is, it's pretty much they just taken this image and they just applied like some changes to it, like basically removing all the dragons, keeping Hiccup alone. All right, this one is good. Now I can take this and build on it. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna say create an image, but this time I'm gonna say create a 2x3 image inspired by the attached, but it should be a very close-up real image of a man facing a giant dragon looking directly at him. The man stands at the edge of the cliff, and I'll be hitting submit. All right, so it's loading Nano Banana right now. It should generate a 2x3. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. I think, I didn't use like the pro version that time. So let me just use the pro version. That's why it didn't do the job that I asked it to do. By the way, this dragon looks a lot like Smaug for some strange reason. And there's nothing strange about it really if you think about it. If you look for Smaug or for dragon, I think Smaug is probably going to be one of the many dragons that are, like there he is. There's Smaug. Like some of all the images here, Smaug has to be like one of the dragons that are super popular, and so that's why it probably used him as inspiration. To be honest, it's one of the best done dragons, like Smaug. I like it a lot. I like Smaug. I think is one of the most well done dragons. Yep, absolutely looks like Smaug. Okay, looks exactly like him. I mean, what you say about this? All right, it looks impressive. So now we could take this image, and then we could turn it into like an animation. But first, I gotta go and resize this project into a custom size of a 2x3, and I can show you resize this dragon. I can show you how you can turn this into a beautiful, beautiful animation. Okay, so I'm gonna take this here, make it bigger, just slightly from here and from here. And then what I would do is I would go and upscale it. So I'd give it a quick upscale. All right. And then, of course, I can transform this into like an animation. I mean, I don't really know how many scenes I can. All right, watch this. By the way, you could actually make an entirely different scene, like shark attacks the giant kraken. Okay, and then right now it will like generate like a scene of a shark attacking the kraken. But let me just go back to focus on that smell or not dragon prompt or dragon image that kind of turned out like Smaug in the end. But I believe it can turn out to be a fantastic scene. Now let me try Sora, just as a last resort, to be honest, because Sora mostly is going to reject this, but I think it should be able to do a tremendous job if it just doesn't give us that stuff about policy and stuff. So here we go. I think this is cool. Let me just try to make the image, make sure that there is no edges, no empty edges. And then I'm just going to go and magically erase the little logo down the bottom because it can confuse the tools. And then what we could do is we could let me just see. We could click on edit and I could just give it like an auto adjust. I think this looks a little better. All right, so Colossal Dragon. All right, so I'm gonna try Sora first, and then I'm gonna try like some other ones. But first, let's try Sora. Okay, let's hit the download button. This is only one image, and it's quite cool. And it could be a base for a pretty good TikTok viral clip. if you are into such things. All right, so the image has been downloaded. Now let's go back to Grok. Now this is the scene, like I said, you can kind of like add something to it. The shark doesn't really look very convincing. That's why I said if you want something to be integrated in an image, you better have an image that already has all the characters, and then you can create a beautiful animation. Otherwise, if you like ask Grok to like generate a shark from its imagination, usually is going to result in into like a cartoon shark like that. Why is it taking so much time? Come on, download. All right, so I think it just needs a refresh because there's only one image here. So why should I struggle to download one image? All right, I think it was just like a technical issue there for a moment. Let's hit the download button. Oh, come on, stop with that. Okay, now I think. All right, image downloaded successfully. Hooray. Now let's go to Sora, and then I'm going to use this image as the base, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let Sora animate this just based on the video. If it says anything about policy or stuff, I'm just going to close it and never open it again. I'm tired of Sora and its policies. Okay, so let's just click on submit. In the meantime, we could generate like a scene using Grok as well. You could also try Kling, and you could also try Google Gemini as VO3. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try Google Gemini's VO3, but I'll be doing it for a completely different scene. I'm a fan of Kong, and I'm a fan of the Indominus Rex, and I want to be creating like an image of a fight between the Indominus Rex and the Kong. Not the grown up Kong, just the baby Kong from the first Kong movie, and I want to like animate a fight between them just to show you like how advanced these tools have become. All right, so it seems like that one is running right now. I'm not sure if it's going to generate the animation in the end, but at least for now, it's running. And then here, it seems like Grok has already went and started generating our video, which is good. But I'm going to wait and see what it did first because I'm not so sure it's going to be able to create like an amazing, cool animation. All right, so let me just get Indominus Rex, like some cool image of the Indominus Rex. This one. All right, so I'm going to take this picture by copying it, go to a new chat, Pro, paste the image. I'm going to have to wait around to see that the image has been attached. Go back to Grok because it seems like it finished doing the job.
Your defiance is amusing, mortal. I won't back down! Your defiance.
Right, so yeah, it's not bad. Slow motion scene. No voiceover. No music. Man pets the gigantic dragon. I just want to show like a scene of him kind of touching the dragon, kind of like that scene with Jon Snow and the dragon. By the way, Jon Snow is only able to touch the dragon because he's a Targaryen. So just so you know, when he first touched the dragon, people were like, oh, but dragons wouldn't let anybody that's not Targaryen to touch them. Okay, so here, Indominus Rex. Okay, so Kong. Let's find a picture of Mr. Kong. I think there's plenty of pictures of him. And this one seems to be impressive. But I like one where there is no weapon and where we can see his entire body. This one is pretty cool. It can be used for SFX. Okay, so let's take this and place it here. I'm going to activate the create image option. I'm going to say generate or based on the image attached. Generate a very cool image showcasing a cinematic fight in the jungle between Kong and the Indominus Rex. Both are gigantic, So they are so much taller than trees. It's daytime and shiny. Okay, so let's just let it work there. In the meantime, let me go back to Grok to check on my scene. And as you can see, that's kind of a pretty good scene, right? I can see why people love this kind of stuff. Now, if you want to go in an entirely different direction, you can. You can say like the man slow motion scene. Man is sits down and meditates. Calm dragon friend. Uh, Camera fixed. No voiceover. No music. And then I can generate like a completely different scene rather than this one, even though this one is pretty cool. I can generate a completely different scene. And you can see how crazy capable these tools are of so many things that take huge budget. Now, I'm not going to lie, this scene is not so bad, but it's not a 16 by 9. So I'm going to say, based on the image attached, the scene should be a 16 by 9. And I'm going to be letting it work on that. In the meantime, I hope that Sora 2 didn't disappoint. Yeah, actually, it did generate the scene, so that's kind of impressive. But it sucks. Okay, I don't know if it's because I chose the landscape. Yeah, I think it's because I chose the landscape. Portrait size. Let me give it another shot. Let's give it another shot at this. And I just want to give it another shot. Sometimes Sora can be awful. Okay, sometimes you just think to yourself and say, "What? What is that?" That's such a horrible scene. But sometimes it just does the most perfect scenes. And ironically, a lot of people look at Sora videos and they think that every Sora video is like that. And that's not the thing. That's not the case. Not every Sora video is like that. Most Sora videos are kind of horrible. All right, so here we have the beautiful scene of the fight between like the Indominus Rex and Kong. Well, we could also animate this, but first let me check the beautiful scene here. It's like a it's not bad. Pretty good. Okay. Very, very good. Okay, now let's do this one. Instead of this, I'm going to resize again, custom size, inches, 16 by 9 inches. Resize the same design that I'm on. And now we get to create something beautiful. But first, before creating that beautiful thing, I'd like to just refresh the page. I'd like to make this bigger. You can see how pixelated the image is, but if I use the image upscaler, it'll make it into a much better quality. And if this wasn't really an important step, I wouldn't be doing the upscaling step, but I need to do this. And the reason is simply because, for low quality images, the videos are usually horrible. For high quality images, the videos are usually much better. Okay. By the way, another thing about Sora is its lip sync features. It knows the voices of most people. For example, there's a parody about Top G Andrew Tate, a cartoon version. And
you want to know the secret? It's simple. Keep your head high, stay calm under pressure, and never let them see you sweat. Confidence isn't loud.
It really got the voice down to a T, okay? As you can see right there. So when it comes to his voiceover capabilities, it's perfect. But good luck trying to generate scenes with it like that, because it will just not allow you like it used to be 6 months ago. So just chill and relax. It has become so difficult to generate what you want to generate right now. Okay, unless it's just like a video about makeup or ASMR video. I mean, those are pretty much, you can do those, but for the most part, a lot of videos will be rejected and you won't be able to do them. Okay, so, and that's kind of bad for creators and sad, but whatever. So here, this is a good one. I'm just gonna have to upscale the image. I think I could just make it a little bit bigger, and that's it. Now here, as far as the lighting, I don't like the lighting. I'm like auto adjust. Auto adjust is also one of my favorite features with Canva. So I'm gonna say Kong versus Indominus Rex. I don't really know how this fight is gonna turn out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, refresh the page, and for this one, I'm going to be using Google Gemini's create a video option with VO3 since I still have 2 credits to go. Now, first, I got to download my scene. And I think this is the last scene that we're going to create right now. And then I'm just going to have to close the show because, I mean, I'm kind of trying to show you like some really impressive ways to create scenes. Attack on Titan, VFX size comparison. I think we'll probably do this one because I promised we're going to do this. Size comparison, size comparison. Let me try to find like one. I don't think I'm going to be able to find like a pretty cool scene. Okay. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Colossal Titan height. I'm going to get the Colossal Titan height. Like, what's his height? Okay, so it's 160, 100 or 60 meters. Now, what is the height of the Eiffel Tower? And I should like to generate a scene. All right, the height of the Eiffel Tower is 330 meters. So that's a lot more than the Colossal Titan. I think we can do this, okay? Now, let's go back to Gemini here. Is my scene downloaded? Yes, it is. So I'm going to drag and drop the scene into Gemini. And then right here, what I could do is I could say Indominus Rex fights King Kong. Epic fight, cinematic scene. I'm going to let that work right there, though I'm not sure if it's going to work on it. But at the same time, let's go and do our last piece of work, but not before checking on this scene here. You can see that it's not bad.
I'm not here to fight you. I just need you to listen.
It almost looks like a movie. I don't know why the image I provided was in a very good quality, but there's still too much blur. So here, I'm going to have to go and get the Colossal Titan, a clean image of him. Okay, so there's plenty of images of the Colossal Titan. I think this one is pretty fantastic, but it doesn't show his legs. This one is pretty fantastic. It does show his legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to probably shop around for some pretty cool image of Mr. Colossal Titan. And I think I found the one that I need. Now that one is horrible. This one, though, is pretty good. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to copy this image and head. It says I can do that because of a lot of requests. Okay, I think I could do this like with Leonardo. It's okay. I'm going to do this with Kling since it seems like Gemini is rejecting it. So I shall not be using Gemini for that. Now here, in terms of the video option, I'm going to make like a 5-second clip using Gemini or using Leonardo. Now let me just click here on start frame. There we go. We got the Kong versus Indominus Rex. All right, so I'm just going to have to drag and drop it right here. And, Kling doesn't have anywhere near the policies that VO3 and most like Sora 2 has. So it will generate this scene without a problem. I can go even up to 10 seconds, but that will just take extra credits. I'm just, to be honest with you, I'm not ready to lose all those credits. It's not because I'm poor or anything or stingy, but it's because, if like a 5-second scene is enough to show you how good these tools are with some creative VFX. So Pro, what did we say? Like the Colossal Titan, I need to remember, he's 60 meters, okay? So if you want to be like making these shorts, first of all, let me copy paste the Colossal Titan. I'm going to copy like another image of his face, not because I like his face, but I just want to give Sora, Gemini as much data as possible, even though it already has data about the Colossal Titan once you make a mention of him. But here, I'm going to click on create an image. I'm going to say create a front view, low camera angle, 9:16 image, showcasing the Colossal Titan standing next to the Eiffel Tower. Okay. Now, and here a realistic HD front view, low camera angle image. Okay. Now, I would say the Colossal Titan is 60 meters. And the Eiffel Tower is 330 meters. I want this image to show the gap and size difference between both. All right, let's let it cook. So right now it's going to go and start. I think that Kling had probably already generated the scene if I timed it correctly, because Kling can be quite fast. But then again, let's go back to check on the scene. Okay, so here, this is a pretty cool scene, but it looks like he's more than 60 meters. Okay, so I'm gonna say no. Actually, well, is it 330 meters? Eiffel Tower. If it's 330 meters, then it's absolutely humongous. Oh, come on, it's really 330 meters. The image you generated doesn't show the size difference. I mean, the Eiffel Tower is at least 4 times or 5 times taller than him. I'm gonna say 4 times just because I don't want it to make him into like a very small Titan. And here, this is the result of the Kling animation. As expected from Kong, I mean, he's definitely gonna punch. Boom! Take that to the screen. All right, so that's pretty good. That's a pretty good scene. Like I said, I could have done like a 10-second clip, but like I think that 5 second is not too bad. It's actually enough. I also want you to admire the sound effects as well. Boom, take that. But you have to also admire the endurance of the Indominus. I mean, he punched the Indominus right in the face, but the Indominus didn't really move. You know, it kind of didn't hurt it at all. That's kind of impressive. Let's rewatch this again. All right. Well, come on. I mean, that was really, it took it to the chin and it just didn't move whatsoever. It moved a little, which is not, I mean, it's normal, but it didn't get impacted or. All right. Come on. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, does Kong win the fight? I think so, because Kong won against three T-Rexes or 4 T-Rexes. So he'll definitely win against the Indominus, though that's going to be very difficult because of the Indominus' sharp fangs. So it's definitely going to scar him a lot. Now, okay, so here I guess that this didn't work out well with Gemini, so I'm going to have to start another chat, and I'm going to have to use another, try and give it another shot. Now, to show the size comparison perfectly, the camera angle should be the Titan facing forward, looking directly at the camera. And remember that the Eiffel Tower is 5 times taller than the colossal Titan. Also, do not show any buildings or anything near them. Just a comparison between both. So if we remove buildings out of the question, I think that it might do a far better job than it did. Though I'm not gonna lie, I liked that image that it generated, but the colossal Titan looks smaller. Also, another thing is the buildings look weirdly bigger, because in Paris buildings are not that high in terms of height. So, I mean, I don't think there's buildings that are 100 meters, because that's what those buildings look like. So Why are the buildings so high? I mean, if you look at some of these images, buildings look like they're dwarfs compared to the. So here, this is the building. It's closer to it. So it's 330 meters. So probably this building is like 12, 13, 16 meters at the most, like 20 meters at the most. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. But again, he's still quite big. Now, how can you maybe make this work to your advantage? Now, here's why some other tools come into play. This is the last thing I'm going to do and close this tutorial, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. So I'm gonna create a new 9 by 16 project. I'm gonna be removing this particular image. Let me show you how you can tune things down in case AI tools don't bend to your will. There are other AI tools like the Canva AI. And so here, first off, I'm going to be clicking, and then here you have an option. Now, other than the magic eraser, which can help me get rid of this little thing here, I could be doing some crazy things like click. I have the magic grab, okay? And then the magic grab tool allows me to do this. I can grab the Titan if I wanted to. Now, this is the Titan. I'm going to grab him. And you guessed it. Once I grab the Titan, right now, I can make him as small as I want him. So normally, because this is like 330 meters, so this is going to be like 60, like 100 and 170, 165 meters, which is the middle. So he usually should be somewhere like this. This is exactly like the size comparison. Like 60 meters, like it should be somewhere like this. Like if I copy him, paste, so this should be like one other colossal here. So here, actually, I think I should be making him a little smaller than that. Copy. Now, if I paste, if I put one on top, there should be like at least like 5 colossal titans. But then again, I think that if I make him any smaller, he would look like a small human. All right. So I think I'm just gonna like keep it like so. Okay. And judging by the angle, I think it's not bad. And again, if you want, you can like add like more colossal titans, like here, for example, like add 2 colossal titans, and then maybe one in the back, like copy paste one in the back, because it's a layer, so I can make them smaller, place them in the back, position backward, like can make it seem like he's behind him, like a tribe of colossal titans, and then we could just like colossal titan and Eiffel Tower size comparison. And you could do this for all like the other titans, but if I were to choose like a building, I would definitely not choose the Eiffel Tower because it makes them look very small. But I would choose the Eiffel Tower for the colossal because at least he's 60 meters, okay? But for the other creatures like the Attack Titan, like for example, Attack Titan's height is not so big. So he's basically like only 15 meters, okay? So if you compare him to like the colossal, he looks like this. So extremely smaller, all right? So if I were to compare him to like the Attack on Titan, I would compare him to like a 30-meter building, for example, right? Like 30-meter building, for example. I could just go like find a monument that's 30 meters, and I could like run a comparison between him and like a 30-meter normal building, just to kind of show the difference in size. But the bottom line is that, that's how you do it. Now, I think that I can close Sora right there. I can also close this one. By the way, in Canva, while you're at it, you can add like these arrows. If you search like for arrow in terms of elements, it kind of can help to show the size difference. For example, arrow, like click. There are these arrows that are back and forth, and you can even control like their weight like this, and you can rotate this like by 190 degrees or by simply minus 90. And then here you can make like this, make it bigger. Actually, it kind of attached to the object, which can happen in Canva. So I'm going to put this right at the top, and then you can just like put it down here, the bottom, but the color should be like something else. So I'm going to change the color to maybe like green. And then I can add like some text. If you want, you can add like some text here, just normal text, something that says like 330 meters, for example, and you could put it like close here. And then I could just maybe like change the color to white. All right, it's pretty good. And then I could just like duplicate this and then place another one right here, and then just drag it like so, and then you can make it like on the other side of things. And I could probably like take a text as well, Control C, Control V, and I could use that text and place it right over here, and that could say like 60 meters to kind of like show the size difference in between both of them. All right. And now before I generate that, I'm going to go to Grok, and I'm going to be just working, just using this scene alone without the arrows. I'm just going to try to see kind of like how it works without the arrows, and then I'll try with the arrows. So if I drag and drop, into Grok, it can basically just generate a video based off of it. So I can say low movement, no music, no voiceover, Titans walking forward. And I can just hit submit, and I'll just let it work on this, and then I'll generate the second one, and I'll close the video. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually pretty good. All right, so you can upscale and download, or we could like try the second one as well. This one will show the size comparison between the Titan. And I'm gonna go back to Grok. Okay, so drag and drop, and then right here I could just like add the text that says Colossal Titan size comparison, and that shall be it. All right, so Colossal Titan, no, not this one. Come on, I want to copy this. Savvy. All right, so let's just hit submit. All right, so now I'm just gonna let it work on it. All right, and that's gonna be like our last scene. All right, so this is the last one, and then I'll just close the video. I think we've went the extra mile here with this VFX stuff and all, but I did enjoy it. It was very fulfilling. All right, here we go. Okay, well, I mean, I don't like the fact that it changed like I'm gonna say do not change the text, do not modify the arrows. I wanted to keep them fixed, so I don't want it to be modifying them, so that's why I added like a completely new prompt. And that's it. All right, so this is the last one. It was a pretty nice tutorial. I've enjoyed every bit of it, and I also want this to be your introduction into the world of visual effects and creating amazing, stunning scenes that can shake the world. As you can see, the arrows that move, so that's good, and it just keeps showing like that comparison. This is a good scene, amazing scene, and it shows the value of AI. This is this, and I'll leave on this note. Passive Income Gen Z wishing you the best and signing out.